In the beginning, God created a perfect world, a paradise unlike anything we've ever seen. The Garden of Eden was filled with life, flowing rivers, towering trees, and animals that lived in harmony. And at the center of it all, Adam and Eve, created in the very image of God. They walked with him, spoke with him, lived without pain, suffering, or death. They had everything, except one command. You must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it, you will certainly die. Genesis 2:17. But then came the deceiver, the serpent, a voice that slithered through the air, whispering doubt. Did God really say? Eve took the fruit. Adam followed. And with one bite, paradise was lost forever. Sin entered the world, and mankind was cast out of Eden. But what if they never ate the forbidden fruit? What if Adam and Eve resisted the serpent's temptation? Would the world be different today? Imagine this. Adam and Eve stand before the tree, listening to the serpent's cunning words. But instead of reaching for the fruit, they turn away. They run. They flee to the presence of God, crying out for help. And instead of sin, they choose obedience. The serpent hisses in frustration. His plan ruined, his power broken. And in that moment, God himself appears in radiant glory. The angels rejoice, for humanity has passed the test. No sin, no suffering, no death. Generations upon generations would be born into pure holiness. No wars, no famine, no pain, no sickness. A world where mankind forever walks with God, never knowing separation, never knowing guilt, never knowing shame. But then, another question arises. If sin never entered the world, would we have needed a savior? Would Jesus have ever come to die on the cross if no one free will have truly existed? But here's the truth. Adam and Eve did eat the fruit, and because of that, sin entered the world. But God had a greater plan. Yes, the fall was tragic. Yes, it brought pain, suffering, and death. But it also made way for something greater, redemption. Without the fall, we may have never known God's mercy, grace, and love through Jesus Christ. Romans 5:19 tells us, "For just as through the disobedience of one man the many were made sinners, so also through the obedience of one man the many will be made righteous." Adam's failure paved the way for Christ's victory. And through him, we have hope of a restored Eden, an eternal paradise, free from sin, forever in God's presence. What if Adam and Eve never sinned? What if time passes in Eden, days turn to nights, and nights turn back to golden dawns? Adam and Eve continue to walk with God, their hearts pure, their spirits unbroken. Generations are born, and yet sin is unknown. Mankind flourishes, expanding beyond Eden, yet never drifting from God. No murder, no betrayal, no suffering. Kingdoms rise, not for power, but for glory, the glory of the Creator. The world is beautiful, but something is missing. A young child, born in this perfect world, gazes up at the stars and wonders, what is mercy? What is forgiveness? What is redemption? They do not know. For in a world without sin, there is no need for grace, no need for sacrifice, no need for a savior. The question lingers, was free will truly free if sin never entered? But then, something happens. Deep in the heart of the world, hidden in the farthest corner of creation, a choice is made. For even in paradise, free will still exists. One man, a descendant of Adam and Eve, gazes at the forbidden tree, untouched for generations. He does not see it as a curse, but as a question. A whisper stirs in the wind, not the voice of a serpent, but his own thoughts. Why did God forbid this? What is it that we are not allowed to know? The man reaches out. His fingers graze the fruit, and in that moment, all of history shifts. He takes a bite. The world holds its breath. The wind stops. The rivers fall silent. The light shifts from gold to something dimmer, something less pure. And just like that, sin enters the world. But this time, it wasn't Adam. It wasn't Eve. It was someone who was never warned. Someone who never knew the weight of the choice he made. For centuries, the fruit had remained untouched. Until now. And because of this man's decision, the cycle begins again. Would mankind have still fallen, even if Adam and Eve never sinned? Or was sin inevitable? So, what does this mean? Even if Adam and Eve never ate the fruit, the knowledge of good and evil still existed. The test of free will was always there, and eventually, someone would have made the choice. This is why God's plan was greater than just preventing the fall. It was about preparing a way back to Him. No matter who first sinned, Adam, Eve, or someone else, God had already planned redemption through Jesus Christ. Even in a world without Adam's sin, we still would have needed a Savior. Do you think someone else would have eventually sinned, even if Adam and Eve never did? Or do you believe the world could have remained perfect forever? Let me know in the comments. If you love these deep dive what-if Bible stories, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode.